Good morning, everyone. My voice clear? How about the rest? Clear enough, my voice? Where's the rest? Still busy breakfast? Raise your hand if you can hear me clearly. Some more? Elwin, Solomon, not here. So our presentation today, project manager, we're going to present briefly on their project planning and also resource management. So each group has 15 minutes. Please you don't have to go in detail. Detail will be in week 6. Which group volunteer want to start first? How come this week nobody volunteer? Last week, more than one group. Yes, please. Yes, Ivan.
Hello, can we see?
Yes, clear.
Okay. Okay, so I'll start now, Miss.
Yes, please.
Okay, so good morning, everyone, and good morning to our Miss. Today I'll be presenting the third part of our presentation. So the presentation today, which will be the project plan. So for the software process model, the selected process model for this project, which will be the waterfall model, in which the project processes and the tasks will be conducted sequentially, one at a time. So the involved stages are defined below here. Um, the first being the requirements and planning, which is gathering the project's requirements, determining the project scope and creating project plannings. The second, which is design, which is designing technical solutions and layouts based on the required project scope and requirements. The third one, which will be the coding and implementation, which is developing and implementing the design technical solutions. The third one being the integration and testing, which will be integrating all implementations and testing for software quality. And the last one, which is deployment, which will be deploying the final completed software. So there are a few reasons for us integrating the waterfall model. The first one being the requirements are well defined by the stakeholders. It is a very suitable model to be implemented, as the new requirements will be less likely to be introduced or make any alternations to the current requirements. The second, which is cost and schedule, can be planned more accurately, as the allocated time period for each phase or task has been predetermined before project initiation. And the last one, which is it allows easier measuring and reviewing of the project's progress with the defined milestone and deadlines. So now I'll be talking about the work breakdown structure and the Microsoft project. So as you can see here, this is our work breakdown structure, which will have 5 phases like just now. The first one being the requirements and planning. The first one being to evaluate current system and process involved. The second one, which is define project requirements. For the define project requirements, we'll be defining the users and stakeholders requirements, define modified systems functional and non-functional requirements, and define the modified systems hardware and software requirements. Uh, the third one for the first phase, which is a system feasibility study, define assumptions, dependencies, and constraints, cost and benefits analysis, and the last one being the define potential risk and develop risk management approach. The second phase, which is the design, it will be designing the modification software and the user interface, and designing the database's structure and architecture. The third phase being the coding and implementation. It will be the inquiry status modification, chat room modification, e-payment modification, and inquiry report generation modification. The fourth phase, sorry, which will be the integration and testing. So for this fourth phase, it will be modification, integration, and system testing, and user acceptance. The fifth one, which is the last phase, which will be deployment. So we have set public holidays in the Microsoft project, which are the Chinese New Year, Good Friday, Labor Day, Hari Raya Idul Fitri, Wesak Day, Harvest Festival, Agung's birthday, Hari Raya Haji, Awal Muharram, Merdeka Day, and Malaysia Day. So for this slide, the project's initiation will start on the 3rd January of 2022. It is expected to be completed on the 23rd of September 2022. The milestone is at the end of each phase, and the project's deadline is on the 30th of December of 2022. So for as you can see here for the Gantt chart, it's the exact same as the work breakdown structure, as you can see just now. We'll have all the phases as described in the work breakdown structure. So for this Microsoft project Gantt chart, the duration is 180 days, and each of the phase will have 40 days, except for the last one, which is deployment, which will only take 20 days. Sorry if you can see all the necessary information, but since we implemented the waterfall model for this project, the flow of the Gantt chart will look like a waterfall. And each phases of the activity will only proceed after one another has been completed. So for the resources, there will be a project manager, project sponsor, developer 1 and developer 2, tester, clients, company employees or the staff, and the company upper levels. The standard rates for each of the resources here, which is 48 ringgit per hour for the project manager, 28 ringgit per hour for the project sponsor, 27 ringgit per hour for the developer 1 and developer 2, 14 ringgit per hour for the tester, and the client's company employees and staff, company upper levels will have no standard rate. So for the weighted scoring model of human resource management, the candidates weighted scoring evaluation table, it is used as guidelines to evaluate potential members for this project. You'll ask for the interviewee's name, the date, their interviewing position or title, and the weighted scoring evaluation. They're going to give a raw score of the weighted. They're going to give a raw score of the weighted score on the criteria, which are the technical skills and knowledge, critical thinking or problem solving, communication and leadership skills, teamwork and social skills, time management, personality and self-motivation, and cultural fit. So for the available reports in the Microsoft project, the first one, which is the cost overview report. So the cost overview report allows stakeholders, especially the company's upper level management, to easily view and analyze the cost spent and the progress of the project during the development by covering overviews and or summaries of several different aspects of the project. So on the top left, as you can see here, shows the total costs, remaining costs, and project completion percentage. The top right section will show the chart of progress versus cost, or for easier interpretation of whether the project has exceeded the allocated budget over time. And on the bottom section, which will show the project's cost status details of each top level task on the left side, and a chart on the right side for easier interpretation. The second report, which is the burndown report, it allows the stakeholders, who are the company's upper level management, to easily view how much work burned down and task burned down of the project have been completed during the development of the project. On the left side, as you can see here, the left chart shows the work rundown of how much work has been completed and how much left there is to do in the project. If the remaining cumulative work line is steeper, then the project may be late. On the right side, it will show the task rundown of how many tasks have been completed and how many left there is to do in the project. Um, if the remaining task line is steeper, then the project may be late. And for the last one, which is the project overview report, the project overview report allows the stakeholders, such as the company's upper level management, to easily monitor the overall progress of the project and be alert of any task overdue throughout the project. Um, so for the top left, we will show the overall project completion percentage. On the top right, it will show the progress of the top level tasks and subtasks for easier progress monitoring. On the bottom left, it will show the upcoming milestones of the project as a reminder of when to achieve the milestone and what needs to be done next. And the last one, which is the bottom right, which will show the late task to alert the upper levels management and allow easier decision making to ensure the project is on schedule. Thank you for listening.
All right, good. Thank you. Next group. Yeah, sure. One more member, Jeremiah. Please turn on camera.
Okay, so good morning, Miss. I'm Mong Hao, and my group members are Nathan and Jeremiah. And today I'll be presenting this week's presentation, which includes firstly, roles and responsibilities, second, weighted scoring model, third, work breakdown structure, fourth, resource calendar, fifth, initial project plan, and sixth is the project plan reports. So firstly, I'll start off with the roles and responsibilities. For the roles and responsibilities, it includes project manager, senior programmers, business analysts, and testers. So for project manager, they manage the overall activities of the project. That includes members under the project team, progress, budget, and satisfaction of stakeholders throughout the project. For senior programmers, they are involved in coding the system and designing the system. Whereas for business analysts, they collect data about an organization's operations to improve its systems and processes. For testers, they test the system after each development and integration phase. Next is the weighted scoring model. So for the first weighted scoring model is dedicated for a project manager. So for this, management skills, communication and leadership skills, productivity and conscientiousness, are to be prioritized when looking for a candidate that is suitable for the position of a project manager. Next for senior programmers, debugging, problem solving skills, and system thinking and design skills are to be prioritized. Just because a senior programmer should be able to determine and solve the issues of the developed system, and they should be able to put themselves in the client's shoes and understand the user's needs in the system to be. Next is the weighted scoring model for the business analyst, where debugging, problem solving skills, productivity, system thinking and design, and conscientiousness are to be prioritized. Is because they should be able to identify the business problems of the organization to produce quality business processes. Next, they have to be productive in analyzing the business problems of the current system in order to complete on time. And they should also have high conscientiousness, since there is only one business analyst to prevent falling behind schedule. Next, this is the weighted scoring model for software testers, where debugging, problem solving skills, and systems thinking and design skills are to be prioritized. This is because software testers should know the possibilities of the input and output of the system. They should also know the basic knowledge of the functionalities of the system in order to use them. And they should also have a high knowledge of different types of testing in order to perform various tests to gain better results. Moving on, it is the work breakdown structure. For the first phase, it is the project initiation, where it includes project kickoff meeting, current system requirements and analysis, where it should include define user requirements, define system requirements, and also define server owner requirements. For project planning, after current system requirements and analysis is the project planning. After that, it will be moved to the second phase, which is automation of registration process. That includes four tasks, which is system analysis, system design, system coding, and unit and system testing. For the three phases, which is the development phase, it includes similar tasks such as what I've just said just now: system analysis, system design, system coding, and unit and system testing. So for the fifth phase, it is the system integration and testing, where it includes system integration as well as system testing. For the sixth phase, it is system deployment, and for the last phase, it is the project closing meeting. Moving on it is the resource calendar. For our resource calendar, for this, it is the price standard rate for all the resources, where for project manager, it is a standard rate of 45 ringgit per hour. For business analyst 25 ringgit per hour. For both the testers, it is 20 ringgit per hour for one tester. For senior programmers, it is 40 ringgit per hour. Next, this calendar excludes public holidays and as well as weekends. So in this calendar, as you can see, this University Tuition Center Management System project will take approximately 195 days, starting from 3rd of January until 13th of October 2022, which will take a total of 4,758 hours, which is the sum of all hours required for the employees to perform their task. And the total price would be 191,170 ringgit. For the first phase, which is project initiation, it will take 26 days, starting from the first day of work, which is 3rd of January until 7th of February, which will take a total of 142 hours and a total cost of 5,590. And for the next phase, it is automation of registration process. This will take 31 days, which will start on February 8th on a Tuesday after the completion of the project initiation. It will take 930 hours and the cost will be approximately 36,750 ringgit. Next, it is the student intranet development phase, which will take 61 days, approximately 3 months. No, 2 months, starting from March 25th to June 22nd, which will take a total of 1,670 hours and a total cost of 68,050 ringgit. Moving on, it is the employee intranet development, which is basically similar to the student intranet development. It will take 61 days, which is 2 months, starting from June 23rd after the completion of the student intranet development, which will end at 21st of September. It will also take 1,670 hours and the cost will be almost the same, it will be similar, 68,050 ringgit. Next is the system integration and testing phase, which will only take 10 days starting from September 22nd until October 5th. It will take a total of 280 hours and total cost of 10,000 ringgit. It will include senior programmers, project manager, and testers. For the next phase, it is the system deployment, where it only takes 2 days. Since there are 3 senior programmers, they will be handling this phase. It will start from October 6th until the 7th of October. It will take a total of 64 hours and a total cost of 2,640. And the last phase is a closing meeting, which will be handled by the project manager from October 10th to October 10th. It will take only 2 hours and the cost will be 90 ringgit. So next is the initial project plan. So we are using the waterfall model, so each task can only start after the current task has finished. For instance, in this project plan, the second phase, which is the automation of registration process, can only start after the first phase, project initiation, has been completed. So referring to the project plan, a milestone meeting represented by the diamond symbol will also be conducted after every completed phase. The first phase will end at 7 February and the next phase will start at 8 February, which will end at 24th March. After the completion of the second phase, a milestone review meeting will be held by the project manager and the owner of Innovasi Tuition Center before the start of the third phase, which is student intranet development. They will be held on 25th March. Each task will be handled by different team members, such as business analysts, senior programmers. Yeah, they have their respective tasks. For the employee intranet development phase, it is similar to the student intranet development phase, but it will start as soon as possible as it will start as soon as the previous phase has been completed, which falls on the 23rd June and will be completed at 21st September. Moving on, the next phase, which is the system integration and testing phase, will only happen after the employee intranet development phase has been completed. This is on 22nd September and should be completed by 5th October. System deployment phase will start after the completion of the system integration and testing phase, which is on 6th October. Which takes only 2 days and will complete on the 7th of October. Lastly, a closing project meeting will be held a day by the project manager on the 10th of October to brief the stakeholders on the developed system. The whole project will be completed on the 10th of October. Next is the reports generated by Microsoft project that are beneficial to the stakeholders. Firstly is the resource overview, which consists of resource status, work status, and resource stats. For resource status, it displays the remaining work that is to be completed by each and every team members in hours. For resource stats, it is similar to resource status, but in a bar chart. But it is displayed in a bar chart that includes the actual work done by team members. For work status, it displays the work done by each and every project team member. However, it is empty because the project is subject to start early next year. Furthermore, this report will assist key stakeholders, like the owner of Innovasi Tuition Center, to track the current progress of the project. Next it is the cost overview report, which will help the key stakeholders like owner of Innovasi Tuition Center to keep track of the usage of the given budget throughout the project. For instance, they can view remaining costs as the project progresses, and the actual cost will be calculated after system deployment. The last one is the project overview. This report helps stakeholders like owner of Innovasi Tuition Center to view the completeness of the project. Besides that, it also informs key stakeholders of the date and description of the upcoming milestone meeting so that they can come prepared. They are also able to view any tasks that are late and behind schedule which will affect the current progress of the project. That is it from me. Thank you.
All right, good. Thank you, group number 2. Let's proceed to group number 3. One more group member. All right.
Okay. Okay, so our group choose waterfall model as our process model, and will be 6 phase.
Sorry for interruption a while.
Okay.
Elwin, could you please point your camera pointing to you? We only see half of your face. Can you move it over a little bit, the camera? All right. Thank you. Take your time, yeah?
Okay. So there will be 6 phase. First in the requirement analysis. So for this phase, we will be capture all the possible requirement, deadline, and then the project guideline, and paste them into the functional specification without mention the specific process. Second is the system design. This phase will be outline the technical design requirement such as the programming language, the UI specification. After that is the implementation and unit testing. This will be the mobile. Our project which is the mobile application. You start to develop according the requirement, guideline and logic we get from the previous page, and also the unit testing is conduct in this phase. After that is integration and system testing. We will be integrate all the unit into a complete mobile application and conduct the system and user system testing. And also after that is the deployment. We will be deploy the application into the live environment. So the last phase is maintenance. So after the final product deploy, we will be keep improving and update enhance the product and maybe release a new version to update the product. So for the reason we chose waterfall models, first is the requirement is well defined. We already defined the objective, 3 objectives with SMART criteria, and there is clear goal and no regular statements, and no change on requirement in the future. Second is the user have less involvement because in this pandemic period, the development is wished to as little as contact with the stakeholder as possible. So for our ticket user, the clinic kesihatan to young patient, there will be only small amount of them come for requirement criteria process and user acceptance testing. And with this, we also can minimize the COVID-19 spread, which which will negative affect the project. And third is the project will have a long lifetime and service, and the operate and maintenance of this project will at least will be 5 years, which is until 2026. And with this waterfall model, it will be convenient for the maintenance because the waterfall model will be have large amount of documentation produced for each phase. So for our work breakdown structure, as as I showed in the previous waterfall model process, it have 6 main process, and all of them are processed in sequence. All of them are processed in sequence, but some of them will be processed in same time period, which is the requirement criteria 1.2, and also the 1.4 feasibility study. The sub process will be processed in the same time period, and also the 3.0 conduct coding and unit testing will also be processed in the same time. So for our project Microsoft project plan, this is our Microsoft project plan, and our initial cost is 669,560, and with estimation will be maintenance cost, which is 20% of initial development cost, and also the maintenance will be 5 years. So the maintenance cost is 70,080 ringgit. And with maintenance cost and the initial development cost, it will be 139,000 and 6,040, and which is within the project budget. And this project is still feasible with the current budget. So this is our project Gantt chart with after collapse the main phase. And as you see the green mark, which is short, the green mark is represent the milestone of each phase in waterfall model. And this project will be start from 3rd January, and the initial project end date is from until December 4th. But if consider after factoring with the public holidays, the final project end date is December 9, 2026. 2026. So for our human resource management, we have a weighted scoring model to evaluate the candidates for the project manager and team member position in this project. This method is created for human resource management and selection process. And for our Microsoft project reports, first is the cost overview report, and this is for clearly indicate where the project money has been spent to date and the related project progress as a percentage. And this report also show the current project cost status, such as plan costs, remaining costs for manager to manage, for manager to do cost management and monitor the cash flow. And also it represents a percentage of competition to determine if the project expenditure remains within the budget. Next is the earned value report. This report will be show the earned value variance and also the performance index over time using a graph. The manager can compare the plan value, earned value, extra cost, and schedule to a baseline budget. And the monitoring of the earned value is done along with the computing performance statistics and forecasting in this report, which will determine whether the project is still on track or not. And then next will be the milestone report. It's to document the project progress relative to the specific requirement of each milestone. And this project, the waterfall model, each phase have end of each phase will have a milestone. So this project will be for show the any late deal or completed milestone, which for can be determined whether the project is on track or not. And this is also useful for stakeholder to understand the progress of this project in the broad stroke, so they will like no need to see the detailed report, can refer from this report. This is all of my presentation. Thank you.
Right, well done, Elvin. Next group.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on. So good morning, Miss and my classmates. So today I will be the project manager to present for the group 4. So I will start my presenting. So for the first is the software process model. So we choose the waterfall model. So you can see through the diagram here. Next, for the process model, we choose for this project is the process model we choose for this project is the software process model chosen for this project is the waterfall model. The waterfall model take the fundamental process activities for the software development and represent them as a separate process phase. The following phase of the each phase will not start until the previous phase is finished. So for this project, the phase for this waterfall model are the requirement definition, system and software design, implementation and unit testing, integration and system testing, deployment and operation and maintenance. So why we choose the waterfall model? The the first reason is the system requirements are well understood and will not change any time soon. So since the stakeholder proposed this project to digitalize their current manual system, so there already a system for the project team to get the most of the requirement. So it will not going to change suddenly. For the second reason is enable the creation of natural milestone at the end of the end phase. With that, it's allowed the project manager to monitor and review the project progress, spot the potential bottlenecks, and predict the project when will be complete. For the last reason is the project depend entirely on the project team with the minimum client intervention. So this is crucial as the world is still under pandemic right now. So and the social distancing and avoiding close physical contact is encouraged. So the team does not always have a scheduled meeting and meet with the client to confirm the project detail with this model. So next is for the Gantt chart. So I will explain for the work breakdown structure. So we can see here the first phase will be the requirement definition. So the subtasks will be the requirement gathering. So inside the requirement gathering also got the got the three subtasks such as like stakeholder interview, analysis, existing document, warehouse on-site observation. So for the requirement definition for second task is the requirement documentation. The third task requirement review, and the fourth will be the requirement approval. So the second phase is the system and the software design. There are like 5 subtasks on it. So it will be software design, database design, interface design, design review, design approval. So the third phase is the implementation and unit testing. They only got one subtask, which is the coding and the unit testing. For the fourth phase testing, there are 3 subtasks: the system integration, system testing, user acceptance testing. For the fifth phase is the deployment. There are got 2 subtasks such as the production development, data entry, and synchronization. For the sixth phase, operation and the maintenance, there are 3 subtasks: technical support for the end users, bug fix, and the system maintenance. So here you can see through see through the Gantt chart. As you see, our system will start from the first, the 3rd January of 2022 until the end, the May 30, 2022. So there are the 8 hours a day from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. with 1 hour lunch break in between, and 5 days a week from Monday to Friday. So after the end of the deployment phase, the system finally complete and is entered into the maintenance mode for the 5 years. So here also the part of the our Gantt chart. So the next will be the useful Microsoft project report. So we can see here the first will be the project overview report. The project overview report combine graph and the table to show the which phase of the project stand, upcoming milestone, and the task that will be passed their through dates. The report provide an overview of the project traits and metrics to assist to terminate in project health and progress. The project overview report allowed a team to detect the problematic track and the celebrate positive outcome quickly. For the second one is the resource overview report. So the status of all individual working on the project. So we can see how much the work has been completed and how much is work remain. The third one will be the cost overview report. The current cost status of the project and its top level tasks, including planned costs, remaining costs, actual costs, cumulative costs, and the percentage of the completion to assist you in terminate if your project is still on budget. So this report also may provide the baseline cost as well as the cost variation, which help in the detections of the any possible of cost overrun. So the third one will be the resource management. So eh, oh, yeah. So as we show in the table below is evaluate the candidate for the project manager and the team member position. So is there are at criteria, which is the experience of development similar system. There are 20% on it. And the second, problem solving skill. So it will be like 20% on it. And the third, leadership skill, and will be 50%. Communication skill also 50%. Motivate 10%. And time management 10%. Teamwork 5%. And the creative is 5%. So it will total up the percentage is 100. So if you want to calculate the total score, it will like the weight we will multiply by the score. So the weight total weight score will be like multiply all the total score on it. So you will get the amount that you to periodize. Yeah. Okay, that's all from my group presentation. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Sha. Last group.
Miss, Shadow cannot attend today's class.
Sorry,
So I
sorry.
just
Cannot
he cannot
attend.
attend.
Why?
Yeah. He said to me, he said no electricity. He said
Or then pre-record. I
pre-record.
mean,
Okay.
please, three of you record the presentation and then upload in the Google Classroom by today also.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe I'm not sure. I know these a few days, many places no electricity, but then by afternoon I shall have. So prepare it, submit by today. Mean you still can do it in a late afternoon and then submit tonight. Let's take a break. Oh, okay. Before break, overall no big issue. Only the one graph, project graph. If nothing to show in the graph, then please don't put it in the report. If the graph is empty, yeah, if the graph is empty, then please don't put it in the reports. I think more than one group just now shows graph with nothing with nothing inside. We come back after 15 minutes. See you. Let's continue our class. Everyone here? You mean the PowerPoint, Ian?
No, about the Microsoft project generation report, that one.
Mm-hmm. In your
Just
written report.
yeah, do we just remove the reports screenshots
Yeah,
since it's empty? Or okay,
yeah.
so
If
just provide,
empty, yeah.
so
Then
just provide basic descriptions.
find others. I mean, a general report for other items.
General reports.
Generate reports for other.
Also
You have
from other sources
yeah, other sources.
Also just an example.
Yeah. Because if you're
Oh,
showing something that nothing to be shown, then better take it out. Don't want.
oh, okay, all right.
The presentation slide just now, please submit in a practical 3. So other group member, please mark as done. Okay, so next week, no more presentation. Please proceed your project. Let me show you. This part we already discussed. So let me go through what you need to do with this. After this, we will discuss tutorial number 5. So you need to prepare risk log. This is an individual component. Please refer to the assessment rubric. You need to prepare risk log, RMMM, identify real or possible challenge, suggest some corrective action to handle identified problem, requirement change management, identify change. This part, this one, yeah. Revise. Okay, this part, if you do have any changes, yeah, please identify and write. You don't have to combine together with the risk log. Risk log, you will build it in a table form. So this requirement change management and also the revised project plan, you don't have to combine with the risk log. Now I explain to you how to do the risk log. So this is our sample in the lecture notes. I have changed accordingly. So look at here. So write your name, since this is an individual component, individual's marks. So write your name. After that, list out what is your risk name. I mean, in a short sentences. Will not be one or two, what is that, words, will be a short description or short sentences. So you reserve your column, make it bigger, this part. Yeah, this one. Can you see my pointer here? This part. Yeah, make it space. You write longer sentences. Probability you assign, and then category. Please refer this one in your lecture notes. Yesterday we studied this part. Write down category, and then assign impact value. Category we have short form like CU, BU. Impact value we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure you write the indicator somewhere, maybe before or after your table. Because when you put in 1, 2, 3, 4 impact value, we have no idea what is that for those stakeholders that they might not know what is that. So don't forget, write your list down. What is value impact 1, what does it mean? 2, what is that? Category, if you write in a short form, then please write what the means of each one. So impact value, after that, please explain what is the impact towards a project. And then write down the mitigation. So this one, mitigation, monitoring, management and contingency plan. Okay, management and contingency plan. This one for individual. Okay, this one straightforward, so I will not give you any. There are plenty of example available. This is something not too, it's a common risk information. So plenty reference. Please go and do some research. Don't copy from here. This might not be relevant to what is your category or what is your risk. What is? I saw message there. Minimum action for each strategy. No minimum action. No minimum action. Any more questions? If no question, then we will proceed with tutorial. Now it's around 10:30. Tutorial 5, we have only 4 questions. Yeah, please prepare your tutorial solution. If you are ready, raise your hand. Yeah, well done, Elwin. I hope you do relate it to the BIM scope organization, yeah, not only just explain what is that. So you done the calculation up to question number 4. All right, later we will look at the answer. How about Celine? Itu saja. Okay, still doing here. Nathan, good. Hardworking. Number 4, not yet. Solomon, empty since tutorial 1. Who else I'm missing here? Okay, never mind. Let's look at the question. You look at question number 1, refer to the case study. Explain this with example. The keyword is here. If you only explain definition, no marks. If only definition, no marks, except if you have an example. I give you an example for risk transfer. The risk transfer here means they're transferring the risk to another person or organizations. So in the case, in this BIM scope project case, they can outsource the development task to external organization. Okay, help up them, but of course they need to provide a fixed fee on that for outsource. So you give a suggestion how they can transfer their risk. Example just simple, but anyways, we are trying to relate it to the case. Of course, if you have other example also, you can put it in the chat box. I will check through your answer here. If you have other answer, place it in the chat box. So another simple example for risk mitigation here. Risk mitigation is some actions that taken to ensure the impact of the risk can be lesser. So in this case, in a BIM scope case, the organization they can back up their resources. Back up their resources just in case the resources are not available. I saw some of you with your answer here. Well, let's look at here. Acceptance, risk of customer or end user will reject the. An example of risk acceptance is accepting the risk of customer or end user will reject the new system of BIM scope. How is it? A bit like hanging in this question, this answer. Mitigation, backup plan technique. Having backup members, okay, yes, backup member or backup resources also can. High staff turnover rate, yes, good. Yeah, backup in case if any staff resign or apply leave. So examples of risk transfer outsource. Yeah, for those who are unfamiliar with the technology, they can outsource. Yeah, just a simple example, but straight to the point. Correct. Accepting the risk of customer. The risk of customer. Can give example what type of risk from customer. Oh, this is the one when they reject the new system of BIM scope project. Oh, okay. Now I understand. Okay, can. The way of interpretation. Setting the risk of customer or end user who will reject the new system of BIM scope project. Okay, understood. So for Elwin, what is this? Okay, let's look at the risk transfer. A technology that must involve in this system was not familiar by team member, so they will found a company that experience in this technology outsource. Okay, so mean they are looking for someone. Yeah, they're transferring the risk to other party. Okay, that's what you mean. Then come back to here. Mitigation, possibility of customer information theft was high. Increased budget on system security. Is this risk avoidance or mitigation? To improve the security. Is this more relevant to mitigation or risk avoidance? Okay, this one you have to consider again. You are this issue, now you are enhancing this so that to avoid this happen. If you're avoiding this happen, then you'll be under risk avoidance. If you are doing this just because you want to lower down the degree of the impact, then that will be mitigation. This one, take note again. Check again what's the means of this. An unexpected small scoop of system issue was found, result in one more maintenance day. Choose to ignore it because only a low of cost was increased. Small scope issue, so mean they are changes in scope. Okay, changes in scope, minor changes in scope, then they accept, yeah, it says that ignore lah, they accept the changes. Don't use the word ignore. So from Kelvin, risk acceptance from project member leaking the source code of the Beamsword project to hacker. By using insurance to cover what? What you want to in case of accident, apa accident? What kind of accident? People, sakit, fall sick, or what kind of accident here? Not so clear. Yeah, what kind of accident? What kind of accident can occur during your project? Are you doing your project? Are you involving something like life-threatening job, life-threatening work? Okay, not so clear here. Hiring another team to modify the server suddenly break. If server break, can cover or not using insurance? They pay for you, or what do you think? Do they pay if your server down? What's wrong with them? Your server down, then are they responsibility which you have your server down? Is their responsibility or just your responsibility? If we are, then you elaborate. You see, the more I ask, the more you explain. You explain in detail, yeah. Don't just give like this. So what kind of accident and which company? What kind of insurance? Your insurance here, we thought is like your life-threatening insurance. Yeah. This one, hiring another team to modify the vulnerability in the source code after discovering the leak. To modify the vulnerability. Modify the vulnerability. How? Modify. You found the vulnerability. Now you need to find a way. Yeah, find a way to solve this. So what is the risk here? The risk is security, isn't it? I'm talking about security. Source code discover the leak. Source code discover the leak. Leak source code mean someone accessing your source code. Unauthorized accessing. Are you referring to this one?
Like somebody gives the code to the to outside, selling the code outside like that, like the team members selling the code, but the probability is still very low. We just accept it as a risk like that.
Then you have to give your corrective action. What's wrong with your project team member?
Not
Is
just
it the attitude?
no, I just maybe they're greedy. Like somebody pay him good money for the source code, and then they just give the source code.
Then how you want to lower down the impact to the organization? They already leak out, they already solve, they already steal, can use the word steal. They already send this source code to other party. How you will you find out what is the impact to the organization. After they sort out the source code, then it means that your product no longer be will no longer be something different in the market. If let's say that's the impact, so other company know you are doing this product, so competitor, they will also perhaps they're doing the same and they release earlier than you. That's the impact. Then how you want to mitigate? How you want to lower down the impact? Because that might going to, your project will not achieve the purposes if some other organization already they know your code and then they do better than you, they release earlier than you. Not only impact to the project or impact to the business also.
Oh yeah.
Serious nih, this one.
I just thought about the mitigation security only. I didn't think about that much.
Yeah, many things to discuss here.
So I should just change to other
Yeah.
acceptance.
Maybe human, the workforce, those can be solved by project managers' actions. Those kind of risks.
Mitigation is about preventing it or just
Bukan preventing.
Or it's just reducing
Lower
the
down. Mitigation here means the necessary action that to reduce the impact or lessen the impact of the risk.
Then I just say the risk acceptance is just the employee sick, and then we with mitigation say got the extra employee in ready can.
This one acceptance, this one more straightforward. We just accept the risk only from impact ignore.
It says accept the risk that there's very small chance, even though so we don't invest into for different avoiding it like that.
One more time.
Risk acceptance is like since the risk is so low, we just don't invest money to avoid the risk like that.
The risk is low, but there is still the risk there.
There is still but we can.
Then you give the risk that with a higher probability, where might contribute high impact. Yeah, so, which risk might cause a huge impact to your project progress.
Can say change in leadership can.
Change leadership mean project manager suddenly stop working.
Yeah.
Can.
And
then how you want to mitigate? You have other suggestions to lessen the seriousness or the not say defect the impact. How to reduce the impact? Think of it. Think of it.
Can just say have a good plan. Just only can.
Terlampau subjective lah. Good plan. Apa itu good plan? Cannot.
Quite hard this question.
You understand the meaning, but like just a simple example. Is it mitigation? Their transfer. They find some other experts to solve the risk. To mitigate, they have a backup. Straightforward, just a simple one. No need think too much. Yeah, no need to. Can avoid, but only able to reduce. Can't avoid, but only able to reduce. Yes. Mitigation also reduce the impact. You have some backup plan. If your data lost, you still have some backup. Question number 2. 2 strategy that can be used to manage the risk. So what is the risk here? Beam Scope project team suggested junior staff. Junior staff keyword should be assigned with non-critical tasks so that if anything goes wrong, let delivery of the assigned task, there will be no big impact towards the deadline. So 2 strategy that can be used by the project team to manage the risk. There are a lot of answer for this. So one of the strategy is they can use a risk mitigation strategy. Yeah, risk mitigation. Let me think of a proper sentence here. So most of the time, this one, the junior staff, they need new knowledge. Sorry, not they need new knowledge. They need time. Yeah, they need time to adapt with the new knowledge and a new skill required by the project. But some of them can cope. Some of them cannot cope with the new knowledge or new technology. So how? I mean, if anything happen, if they really cannot cope with it, how are you going to solve this? Critical thinking. Critical thinking. Assign mentor, yes. I mean, before you hire, before you, what the word they use, yeah? They are suggested on him in this case. Yeah, they're suggested. So before you hire the staff, assign them to the job, you have to prepare. I mean, you need to prepare well the project schedule for them. Yeah, prepare well, assign them, and then brief them clearly every single stage because they are new. Brief them, then if possible, if you can assign, like here suggested, if you have some senior employee who can guide them or lead them, then the chances to be delay will be low. Right, that's one of the strategy. You can have others. Do you have other answer? So just now we discussed one. Any more answer? Let's look at how you explain this. 30 seconds. If no more other answer, then we go for next question. Yeah, well prepare the project schedule, brief them clearly, the task allocated, the progress, what happening, brief them clearly. If possible, assign them a supervisor or mentor is fine, as long as who can guide them. Okay, provide more guidance. And then increase human resources on part of project responsible by, what is this? Increase human resource allocation on part of project that responsible by. Oh, you mean assign more staff to help junior staff? What you mean this part? This one, okay.
Yeah, I mean like more people help them, like go into with them to do that. More people.
Oh, no. This question, they are suggested to have junior staff. So what is the risk? What will happening and how to solve? Yeah, not other resources. Okay, because we understand if junior staff, what type of risk can be happen? They might be, they need time. They need time to cope the risk. They need time to cope with the work. Perhaps they will work behind the schedule. So what strategy, how to solve that risk? We already identified the risk. Now, what does suggest strategy how to overcome, how to solve the risk? Okay, you have to understand what will happen if junior staff let delivery assign tasks, go behind schedule. So before that, you might suggest avoidance. Yeah, so before this, you give them guidance or what mitigation action you can do. Risk transfer. If junior, no, we only talk. We are solving problem for junior. No lah, no. You will look for other people. Look for other people. Risk transfer. Let me read the question again. Beam School project team has suggested junior should be assigned with non-critical tasks so that if anything goes wrong, let delivery of the assigned task that will have no big impact to the project deadline. Two strategies that can be used by the project team to manage the risk. So we're focusing on this only. How to help this junior staff if they cannot do the work on time or behind schedule. So we're focusing on the case here. Question number 3, risk analysis. Calculate risk score. Okay, risk score, and then one risk management strategy. So let me check here. Who shall I refer here? LV. Unstable database. 1.5, yes, correct. Inadequate software architecture, 0.6, correct. Error caused by members, 2.4, yes, correct. Constant changes, 0.1, yes, correct. So risk exposure, all are correct. How about question number B? Question number B asks for propose one risk management strategy with the highest priority. So which one is the highest priority just now? Error caused by. Here, among all these, this is the highest priority. So how to solve this risk? So this is a risk, error caused by team member. Do you have answer here? I propose risk reduction. Yes. How? How to reduce this error? How to reduce this error caused by team member? Which propose risk reduction, which reduce cost error by team as many as possible by increasing monitoring the project. Yes. Monitoring project here including, okay, this part, yeah, you all might jot down. This part might including peer review. Monitoring including monitoring here can be a monitoring from a project manager. Other than that, we can suggest peer review, where the team member will evaluate each other's work for their technical quality and also the content. In the testing stage also, can carry out few rounds. Yeah, can carry out a few rounds to identify any bugs or error. If they can identify earlier, then they can rectify earlier. Okay, correct, this one. So only the explanation need to add more further. Next question. Let's look at number 4. Number 4, identify 2 potential risks different category impact value. After that, you have to identify, explain the category. Illustrate impact. Oh, this one so similar to our proposed suitable. Yeah, this part, category. This one, please explain. After you define, let's say this is a CU, customer characteristic. So you have to explain category. So two, what is that? And then you need to explain. Oops. Give me 1 minute. Let me join another class 11 o'clock. Sometimes the student thought, how can miss late or not in the class? Let me join the group first. What time is your class next? What time is your next class, your group? No class? All right, let me come back to your group here. So this one, risk, do you all have answer already? What type of risk? Inventory information that needed to process and store was larger than expected. Okay, good. Product size, this one need to explain. PU. Impact. Mitigation, monitoring. Okay, maybe let me give you example. Yeah, I know some of you might ask, Miss, how to explain this CU and also this part. This one, explanation, because we don't have this in the notes. You may ask on this. And also, you might also wonder how to explain the impact of the project. Let me draw it out to you. Everybody still here? So quiet. Everyone still here? Turn on your mic.
Yes.
All right. Now let me draw to you. So in your tutorial question number 5, you can do it this way. So you draw a table. This one is for question number 4, yeah? So you list down risk name, category, impact, and also RMMM. So risk name, category, impact, RMMM. Let's say now the first risk is about the user. So unclear users. Example here, you can have others. So category here definitely on customer characteristics. So what is this? This is about This one unclear user requirement because the communication between customer and developers not clear. Developer. To contain communication between them, they cannot find a clear user requirement between customers and developers. So what's the impact here? The seriousness 1, 2, 3, 4, the impact could be 3. Yeah, 3 or 4. 3. So what's the impact? Unclear requirement will cause the end product. Unclear requirement will cause the end product didn't meet the product objective. Okay, project objective. This is example. Because of unclear requirement, of course you can have other answer. I just give you example. So RMM here you can put in mitigation, monitoring, management. The mitigation here, I will suggest to use a prototype first. Yeah, prototype to conform user requirement, which is unclear. So for monitoring, we'll use observe the user's response during the prototyping demo. So management here can be obtain the prototyping feedback from the users, and then the feedback used to be incorporated the feedback to the system to improve the system. All right, so you explain accordingly. Do I need to repeat this part for you? No need. So since we understand that user requirement unclear, how to mitigate here? So my method here is use prototyping to confirm the customer requirement. Which part unclear? So for monitoring here, I need to observe the response during the prototyping demo. So management here, I receive the feedback from the users from prototyping. Then the feedback will incorporate it to the system to improve the new system. This is how we explain. So please go for 2. In total, they need how many here? They need 2. 2 potential risks. So find out 1 more or find out 2 more risks. So I give you 1 example. You please try another 2. Add 2 more in your answer. Any question? Any question? This one, which question?
Question 2.
This one, question 2. Yeah. Supervised question 2 is about the junior, right? Can. But then the junior haven't start working yet. So project initiate you can assign, but then you will follow up with the junior's task. Keep on supervise keep on monitoring the performance, follow up, and give guidance if they need so. Any more questions? If no question, we will dismiss for today.
Impact value about the impact value, it is like 5/10. Like the highest is 10.
No, the lecture note impact highest is only 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 only. You look at our lecture note yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in the lecture notes. Negligible, marginal, critical, and catastrophic. Highest is 4. If no question, I'll see you next class. Thank you, everyone. I will go to next class. Bye.